Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining Mystic Fitness for another live yoga flow. My name is Kelly, and I am here to lead you guys through the next hour long practice. So, with these next 2 minutes as we get started, we're going to allow our viewers to start tuning in. We'll just run through a quick couple of announcements. So, as you guys know, our Mystic Fitness Venmo account is up and running. So, if you guys feel inclined to make a donation, we really appreciate the generosity. And of course, if you make your donation, you're going to get one of these handmade masks. And they are beautiful and they have an elastic band so that they can kind of adjust to your face. And I'm sure, as you guys know, if you're living near the Framingham area, that the Whole Foods requires masks. Honestly, most businesses are requiring masks right now. Um, so it's a great idea to protect yourself and others by wearing one of these when you go out in public. And they're pretty, right? Look at mine, has a bunch of stars and moons on them. And we'd love for you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we have our Mystic Fitness Yoga Studio YouTube channel up and running. And this is such a great way to have our videos being delivered to the community without, utilizing a social media platform. So if you have family members or friends that don't use Facebook or Instagram, send them to our YouTube channel. Let them know that we are posting our videos there and they're awesome flows for everybody. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the nice weather. As you can tell, I have been looking a little pink this morning. But it feels so wonderful to get out there, get your vitamin D. And part of being healthy is getting sunshine. And that includes the days where it's a little foggy, too. Even the sun will still give you its benefits, even on those foggier, maybe colder days, which we might be seeing some this weekend. So enjoy what we got now. Maybe you're practicing outside this morning. If you are, take a picture, send it our way. We'd love to see it. So I think that's it for announcements for me. And of course, if you guys ever have any questions about what we're doing here or any suggestions or poses that you really are looking forward to, just message us on Facebook or Instagram. Reach out to Amy via email if you guys are part of the Mystic Yoga Studio email board. So that's how we contact everybody. We that email. So good morning, Marty. Thank you for joining us again. So I'm looking forward to flowing with you guys. Morning, Charlie. Thank you for commenting. It really brings a smile to my face to see you guys take that extra time to say hello to me. I'm sure it's a symbiotic relationship, right? I say hello and you say hello. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start class this morning with our breath, with some dropping in. So go ahead and find a comfortable position. If you like to lay down or find a seat, maybe a child's pose, whatever feels best for you. Take a deep breath in and out. Again, inhale and exhale. Take 3 more breaths here. Really filling the lungs to the full capacity. And then letting it slowly come out. Imagining as you're pulling that oxygen in, it moving through the body, delivering nutrients to all parts. And then the exhale is a ridding yourself of any toxins. And allowing your breath to come back to a natural pattern once that feels right. Our mind is so powerful. It's such a wonderful tool to keep looking towards the future, organizing our thoughts and ideas. But in this society, we tend to overuse that tool. This is why we practice. This is why we come to our mats, kind of create new pathways. It occurred to me the other day why sometimes I'm feeling so anxious with the current situation. I think that's because before this happened, life had this balance of certainty and uncertainty, like a scale almost. There was enough certainty in your job, your finances, your alone time, time spent with family and friends. Being able to casually walk into the grocery store or go out to dinner with a loved one. And then there were uncertainties in life, like a surprise party or maybe a flat tire or, anything that popped up unexpected. In the time that we're living in right now, the scale is a little unbalanced. There's a little bit more uncertainty than there is certainty. And that is where the anxiety can arise from. This feeling of uncertainty. What's next? And what I realized, what helps me to eliminate some of that anxiety is looking at the beautiful certainties that I have in front of me. The certainty of the love that I receive from my friends and family. The certainty of having a cozy, comfy bed where I can lay my head. Certainty in having food to fuel my system. Certainty of having Mystic Fitness at 9 a.m. flow. I hope this helps you navigate these uncertain times. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Expand your chest, breathe in and out. Wherever you are, start to reawaken your body, maybe rolling the shoulders or wiggling the fingers and toes. And bring the hands over your heart, either bringing the palms together or planting them over your chest. Connect to this certainty, this beautiful body you can move with, breathe with. We'll begin our practice with the sound of Om, uniting our vibrations as one. Starting with the cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, inhale. Have a beautiful class, everyone. Let's go ahead and transition into a standing position this morning. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to come into our standing position, and I want you guys to just take some empty coat sleeves. Just start to kind of rock from side to side. Let your arms be like kind of weightless, and just kind of rocking from side to side. Sometimes I like to imagine any little bits of stress or anxiety that I have just kind of flicking off of my fingertips as I do this. This is a great way, a pretty low impact way to get the spine into some gentle twisting and also connecting the feet into the earth. We're getting started right away this morning. Let's get rid of all of that stale energy, connecting to the certainties of our mat, and let your arms just gently start to slow down one at a time. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And then with the exhale, dropping that right hand down, finding a side stretch, reaching the left fingertips over towards the right side of your room. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, left hand drops, finding a side bend on the right side. Flowing in and out of these a couple times. Inhale to re-extend and lengthen. Exhale, side bend to the right. In and out to the left. Finding a couple more here. Coming all the way back to center, making sure the feet are hip distance apart. We're going to flow in and out of some chair twists here. So with the inhale, we're lengthening. Exhale, twisting and sitting towards the right. So the left arm pulls forward, right arm pulls back. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Right arm forward, left arm back. Let's get this a little faster here. In and out. In, out. And we're jumping right into it this morning. We're getting those legs nice and fired up. Breathe deeply in as you lengthen and deeply out as you sit into your chair. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward folds. Let's start with a deep bend in the knees to release all of that tension in the lower back. And even if you have very open hamstrings, I want you to just humor me for a moment and find a deep bend in those knees. Shake the head, yes and no. And then if you're looking for a little bit more lengthening through the hamstrings, now's your opportunity to start to bend and extend through the knees. Again, keep that head shaking yes and no until you feel fulfilled and the neck is nice and released. You can grab onto opposite elbow and sway side to side in your ragdoll position. And taking one more full round of breath here in any sort of movement or stillness. Inhale to your halfway lift, fingertips plant on the shins, lengthen through your crown, and exhale, folds. Inhale to that halfway lift one more time, and exhale, folds. Inhale this time, circle sweep all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms circle sweep up, and exhale, hinging from the hips, forward folds. Inhale is your halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, stepping back to your plank pose. Let's go ahead and drop the knees to the ground in your plank pose and make sure those hips kind of tuck under rather than pressing up into a table pose. We're going to find a couple of yogi push-ups here. So if you guys tuned in to my chaturanga breakdown, you're going to know that we want those elbows pointing back rather than pushing out towards the sides. Let's take 5 quick push-ups here because we're worth it. Ready? Inhale. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down. 3, 2, 1. This time, lower all the way to the ground. We'll find our low cobra here by engaging the shoelace sides of the feet into the ground, and using the back strength of pulling the shoulder blades together to lift that chest up. Keep the chin tucked so that you're not cranking your neck. Inhale. Exhale, release, and press yourself into your table pose. We'll pause here for a moment and take some big hip circles, dropping the hips towards the right and circling them all the way to the other side. Rotating that pelvic bowl all around your mat, almost like you're spreading some jelly on your toast. And take that in the opposite rotation. Maybe you prefer honey or peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Coming back into your table pose, dropping the chest, gazing forward. Inhale. Exhale, curling the spine, pressing the floor away, tucking your chin. Inhale, arch and open your spine. Exhale, curl and round. One more. Coming back into your proper table pose. We're going to get a little funky here. So I want you to take that right leg and rotate it, kind of pivot it out to the right and find this funky side plank here. So the right leg is bent, knee is below the hip, and that left leg is long towards the back of your mat. From here, taking some big sweeping circles through that left arm. And if you'd like to stretch your neck, you might incorporate your gaze on left fingertips as you rotate. And then in the opposite direction. Allow this to take you in a beautiful side bend as the left fingertips reach for the front of your mat and the right foot reaches for the back of your mat. Breathe in, press those hips forward. Relax the left shoulder away from your ear. Beautiful. Reach that left hand up towards the sky and lift the left leg, but try to keep that heel in line with the hip so we're not lifting it past our hip. Rotate the wrist and ankle here a couple times. And your gaze can be either down onto the right fingertips, looking forward, or up towards the left fingertips. We're going to pulse in and out of some movement here through our obliques. So with the inhale, left arm reaches towards the front of your room. The limbs pull apart. Exhale, bring the elbow and knee towards one another. Inhale, lengthen and extend. Exhale, elbow and knee towards the midline. 5. Take it nice and slow. It makes it a little bit more strengthening. 4. Really use those abdominals and the glute muscles in the leg. Last 2. And 1. Left foot plants, left hand plants. Come back into your table pose, sinking down into a child's pose. Maybe you rock the hips from left to right. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. And I'm going to turn around so you guys can see this on the other side. We're going to go ahead and rotate our left foot out towards the left and swivel open so that you're in that side plank on the other side. Right foot is towards the back of your mat, and then just rotate through that arm. Let the right arm create some big sweeping circles here. And then in the opposite direction, maybe the gaze follows the fingertips. And find that beautiful long side stretch. Reach the fingertips towards the front of your room. Really stretch through the foot all the way to the fingertips. And then reach that right leg up. Create some wrist and ankle circles here. And then we'll pulse in and out of that abdominal exercise. So with the inhale, right fingertips reach to the front, right foot towards the back. Exhale, elbow and knee towards one another. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, nice and slow, pull the elbow and knee towards one another. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Returning back into your table pose and sinking the hips back. Find that child's pose for 2 more breaths. So while I have you guys in a paused moment here, our breath pattern usually follows the inhale is the lengthening, and the exhales is usually kind of curling inward. So it's that same progression of our cat and cows. So that can be a good tool if you're ever confused about what the breath pattern should be. Let's go ahead and return back into our table pose. Tuck the toes under and lift the knees to just a hover. So we're engaging our abdominal muscles. We're pulling the belly in, either choosing to stay here or we're going to take some toe taps. So the right foot reaches towards the back and return, left foot back and return for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep those knees lifted. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reach the hips up and back. And then begin to pedal your feet out here, walking your dog, bending and extending. And we're not forgetting about our hands, right? Where the fingers are spread wide, the knuckles and fingertips are pressing into the earth. And there's kind of an activity almost like you're palming a basketball with the earth, so that the palms kind of aren't even really touching the ground because your hand is so engaged. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, shake the head yes and no. And maybe you play around with your foot and hand placement here. So if you're looking for a deeper stretch through the hamstrings, you're going to walk the feet closer towards the hands and press the heels towards the ground. If you're looking for more of a spinal decompression, you're going to have the hands and feet a little bit farther apart from one another and come up onto the tippy toes. Maybe this morning you're somewhere smack dab in the middle. What is it? The Goldilocks? Who likes everything in the middle? Maybe you're Goldilocks this morning. Let's take a couple back and forth presses. Inhale, drop the knees to a hover, hips pull up and back. Exhale, plank pose. We'll take 5 more. Use those inner thighs pulling towards one another as you extend into your plank pose. Last 2. This time holding in your plank pose. And then choosing what chaturanga version works best for you. So with the inhale, plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. So if you guys are ever confused or curious about the breakdown of the chaturanga, you can take a look at that video that we posted a couple days ago. Super informative and tells you exactly what chaturanga is going to work best for you. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, big sweep up and back. Exhale, knee to chest, step to your runner's lunge. In your runner's lunge, make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Blocks underneath the hands here can be a great tool to keep that chest a little lifted. Actively press the right heel into the earth. Left hand plants on your block. Inhale, right arm opens up for your twist. And the powerhouse of this twist is that right foot pressing into the ground, allowing this twist to come from just the rib cage area. We don't want that left hip dropping with us. Breathe in, flex through that left glute. Exhale, returning back to center. And we're going to visit our crescent lunge by slowly picking the chest up and arms reach up. Let's bring the hands down to our hips and set up our crescent lunge. In your crescent lunge, again, those feet are hip distance apart. That's something that's pretty common in our yoga classes when we're in our lunges. You want to make sure that back left knee is slightly bent. So take a look in the monitor. Notice the difference of an extended leg with my chest and back. And then I'm going to bend that knee. Notice how now my hips are stacked below my shoulders. We're going to pulse in and out of this. Inhale, arms and legs extend. Exhale, dip like you're in an elevator. Slowly dip. Inhale, rise, arms reach. Exhale, pull those elbows in towards the rib cage as you dip. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise, and exhale, dial that left heel down, open up to your warrior 2. Once you've made it to your warrior 2, make sure that the feet are far enough apart, but also not too far apart. So we're in that Goldilocks zone once again. Right toes are facing the front of the room, and that back edge of the left foot is very important. You want it to press for the back of the mat, almost like you're ripping the mat apart with your feet. Breathe deeply in and out. Inhale, extend through the right leg. Fingertips come to touch above your head. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior. Again, in and out. Last one. Returning back to that warrior 2. Inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, cartwheeling hands down, back to your runner's lunge. Sending the right foot up and back for a 3-leg dog, and then opening up the hip by dropping the right heel towards the left side of your body. Reaching that right knee up towards the sky and trying to maintain equal level of weight distributed into your hands. Inhale, lengthen that leg, square your hips. With the exhale, either choosing to come into a plank or keep that right leg lifted for a 3-leg plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. I hope you guys are feeling a little warmth like I am. Inhale, left leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, left knee pulls in towards the chest. Inhale, sweep that left leg up and back. Exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest. Step to your runner's lunge. What's the magic rule in our lunges? Those feet are hip distance apart. If I could get a nickel for every time I said that, I'd be rich. Press that left heel firmly into the ground. That's the powerhouse of this lunge. Right fingertips onto your block, and slowly, with control, start to twist open to the left. So if you swing right into the posture, you're going to lose all of that beautiful transition. So take it nice and slow. Make sure that that right hip is staying where it is and not coming with you on your twist. Allow that twist to come from the rib cage, trying to rotate right rib over towards the left. Breathe in and out. Coming back to center, using the power of your legs and core connection to pull yourself to your crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Bring those hands to your hips for a moment. Let's set this up. So you guys saw in our monitor that when you keep that right knee extended, you're going to find more of an arch in the spine. But when you tuck that right knee and bend it a little bit, you're going to allow those hips to stack below the shoulders. Inhale, arms and legs extend. Exhale, take that slow dip. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, dial that right heel down. Open up to your warrior 2 on the other side. So the left toes are facing the front of the room this time. And that back edge of the right foot towards the back of the mat. Open up your arms. Make sure that the hips aren't sassing out towards the right. Breathe in and out. Inhale, extend through the left leg. Fingertips come to touch. Exhale, warrior. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Hold in your warrior 2. Feel both presence of the feet pressing into the ground. Inhale, flip left palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands down to the left foot, coming back to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, left foot reaches up and back, 3-leg dog. Opening up your hip by dropping the left heel over towards the right. Notice if you're starting to dump some of the weight into that right hand, and I want you to square the shoulders. Reach that left knee up towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen the leg, and choosing to come into your full plank or a 3-legged plank as you hinge forward. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And with the exhale, let's visit a child's pose for a quick drink, a quick little regroup. I love it. We have a nice full class today. Got 14 viewers, so thank you all for being here. And while I have your guys' attention while you're just grabbing a quick little drink and taking a moment to breathe, I'd love any suggestions or recommendations for quick little tutorial videos. The same way we did our balancing half moon or the chaturanga and the crow pose. If there's a posture that you would like me to break down, please let me know. I'm looking for inspiration. All right? Take one more breath wherever you are, and we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. We're going to incorporate some balancing postures into our practice this morning. And I want you to start by just grounding those feet into the earth. So a lot of times we don't really pay attention to our feet, but I really want you guys to spread those toes wide and then press them back onto the earth. Feel that connection and activity. It's different than when you just land your feet there naturally, right? You want to give it a little bit of attention. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bring the hands towards the heart and reach that left knee up. Beautiful. We're going to take 10 toe taps here. 10, 9, 8, 7. Feel that in the hip flexor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and find a quad stretch by grabbing onto the left foot or ankle and lengthen that left knee towards the ground and press the pelvis forward. Feel that lengthening through your quad. Beautiful. And then we'll stay here or start to enter our dancer pose by reaching that right arm up towards the sky and hinging forward, kicking our foot into left hand. I'll turn around so you guys can see where we're going here. So I prefer my dancer with an outside grip. Some people like that inside grip. So do whatever feels best for you here. We're hinging the chest forward to make it parallel to the floor. Kicking enough into the hand and hand pulling back. Keep a micro bend in the right leg. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Nice and slowly start to bring the hands towards the chest and kick the left leg out for your warrior 3. I know that right leg is burning. Stay with it for one more breath. And with the exhale, landing in our pyramid pose. So notice both feet are firmly on the ground. Hips are facing forward. Feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to bring my hands towards my hips and lift my chest with the inhale. And as I exhale, taking a slow hinge forward. Hands release to blocks or mat. And then allow your chest to just kind of soften down. So a lot of times in our forward folds, people are a bit confused if we need a flat back or a rounded spine. And the beauty of that is that it's kind of up to you. So a flat back is going to be a little bit more lengthening through the spine. But once you hit that flat back, you might be looking for a little bit deeper of a hamstring stretch. And in that case, then you can start to hinge even more and allow your spine to curl forward. Maybe we pulse in and out of some halfway lifts. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. This helps to have blocks underneath the hands. And exhale, soften and roll down. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, soften. One more like this. Inhale and exhale. Removing your blocks if you're using them, and then just walking the fingertips over towards the left side and opening up your stance to a wide-legged forward fold. Hopefully I didn't lose some of you guys there. So we're in our wide-legged forward fold. Feet are in one line, and maybe the feet are spread far apart or maybe a little bit closer together. Just breathe here, in and out. One more full round here. Walking the hands over towards the right foot, coming back to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, step that right foot back to meet left, plank pose, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to take that same progression on the left side now. Destination number 1 is finding that connection of our foot into the earth. So go ahead and pick up those left toes, flare them in, press them back down. Notice how that changes this posture. From here, inhale, arms circle, sweep up, lengthen out of your waist. Exhale, hands to heart as you pull the right knee in towards the chest for our 10 toe taps, starting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding that quad stretch by bending the right knee, grabbing onto foot or ankle, inside or outside grip, and then just lengthening that quad, imagining that right knee is reaching for the ground, pelvis is pressing forward. And just to clarify, you guys, you can take a look in the monitor. An outside grip is grabbing the outside of the ankle, and an inside grip is grabbing the inside of the ankle. So whatever works best for you is the perfect location for you to be in. Choosing to stay exactly as you are, or we're going to hinge into our dancer pose by reaching the left arm up towards the sky, lengthening. And with the exhale, kicking that right foot into right hand, hinging your chest forward to become parallel to the ground. Keeping a micro bend in that left knee for 2 more breaths in and out. If you fall out of it like me, just go ahead and regroup and get right back into it for our last breath. Now with control, kick that right leg out. Find the hands at heart, warrior 3 for 2 breaths. You got this. Flex that flying foot. Exhale, landing to your pyramid pose. So feet are hip distance apart. Both heels are on the ground. So we're not really in a lunge pose with the back toes on the ground. Instead, both feet are firmly grounded. Bringing the hands onto your hips. Inhale, lengthen, lift that chest up. Maybe the throat opens. Exhale, a slow and controlled, safe hinging forward. Notice where you hit that flat back. Whew. If you like those blocks, you can go ahead and bring the blocks underneath the hands. And then we'll pulse in and out of those halfway lifts with the inhale, lengthening through your crown. Exhale, hinging and rounding forward. So notice how the location of your spine changes this posture from that inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, rounding and curling. Notice how that left hamstring begins to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Last one, inhale, lengthen through your crown. And exhale, soften. Removing your blocks. And then walking the hands over towards the right and opening up your stance into a wide-legged forward fold. If I lost you guys with that little movement, just go ahead and find us in our wide-legged forward folds. It's all good. I know sometimes on our Facebook live stream videos, it's hard to kind of know the rights and lefts because I think Facebook flips it. So yeah, this is my right hand, but it looks like my left hand. So it might get a little dodgy there with some of the cueing. Wherever you are, enjoy this deep stretch through the hamstrings and outer hips. Maybe you like to rock those hips from side to side, and it can be pretty subtle. Or maybe you prefer some deeper Skandasana poses, dropping down onto the left leg and then over towards the right. Find one more full round of breath. Then we're going to take a quick little detour here by finding a halfway lift, toe heeling the feet towards one another, bringing the hands towards the hips and slowly rising back up to stand. So the feet are still hip distance apart. We're going to find our tree pose here. So bringing the weight into that right foot, inhale, arm circle, sweep up, hands towards the heart. And our destination number one for our tree pose is simply bringing the left toes towards the ground, bringing the heel towards the right ankle and opening up that left knee out towards the left. This is a beautiful tree pose. If you would like to challenge your balance a little bit more, that left foot can come anywhere on the right leg except that knee. So you might need that left hand to kind of adjust and put that foot into the inner thigh. And the powerhouse of this pose is that locking that's happening between that right standing leg being as strong as your tree trunk, and that left foot is pressing into that tree trunk, utilizing that stability. Arms can be wherever they like. Maybe your tree is really tall and growing. Maybe it's windy in your little yoga room. Maybe there's a good song playing and you're having a little dance. Find one more full round of breath. And exhale, release out of this pose. Shake out that right standing leg. We'll take it to the other side. Setting it up by pressing that left foot into the ground. Inhale, arms sweep up, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring those right toes to the ground and open up your hip. This is destination number one for your tree pose. If you'd like to find a little bit more of a challenge, bring that right sole of the foot into the inner left leg, but avoid that knee. So we avoid the knee because that locking, that powerhouse of this pose of pressing the right foot into left leg would be very dangerous to do that on your joint, on that knee joint. So that's why we avoid it, because we're pressing firmly, right? My feet aren't just hanging out here. I'm using my legs. I'm pressing into them. With your last two breaths, allow your arms to move in whatever pattern they like. Maybe get a little creative here, maybe rolling the wrists. And releasing out of this pose. Shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, maybe empty coat sleeve once again. And now we're going to flow onto the ground. So bring yourself towards the top of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, stepping back into your plank pose. Let's visit our elbow plank here by dropping the forearms onto the ground, but keep the palms open. So you don't want to interlace the hands with each other. Keep them open. This makes it a little bit more challenging, but way more strengthening. Allow those hips to drop, but keep them in line with the shoulders. Peel the chest forward, gazing about 6 inches in front of your mat. Breathe in and out. 2 more breaths in and out. Press through the heels to engage the legs. Last breath. Dropping the knees and hips to the ground, finding our Sphinx pose by using the arms to kind of pull the chest forward. Keep that chin tucked so that you're not cranking your neck. And in this pose, I kind of imagine myself as like a little snail, and I'm using the activity of my arms on the ground to kind of pull myself forward. Breathe in and out. Feel that stretch through the abdominals. Last breath. Releasing out of this pose, allow one ear to come to the mat and the arms to reach beside you. Bending the knees and windshield wiper feet from side to side. And I love this pose. I love this movement. Such a low impact way to remove any tension in the lower back. This is a great posture to do in the morning if you slept a little funny and aggravated any part of the lower spine. And it also feels good if you're on hardwood. It kind of massages the quads on the ground. Let's find one back strengthener today. We're going to find our locust pose. So bring the arms alongside of you, but place the palms on the earth so that we're externally rotating our shoulders. The first part of this pose is just reaching the chest and arms up off of the ground. If the lower back is okay here, you're going to reach the legs up off the ground so that you're floating in this lotus pose, or locust, excuse me. Inhale, shoulders pull together, lift. Exhale, soften just a touch. Inhale, re-engage, use those glutes. Exhale, soften just a touch. Last one, inhale. And exhale, release all the way to the ground. Maybe you take those windshield wipers with your feet one more time. Letting the legs lengthen back down the mat, lifting your way up into your table pose, and then sitting back onto your heels, letting the legs reach forward. We're going to find a couple seated versions of our ending postures here. So I'd like for you guys to bring the soles of the feet to the ground, and then we're just going to bring the hands towards the lower back. So I'll give you guys kind of like a little side view here. I'm going to take my right ankle and cross it over left thigh. To make this a little bit easier, you're going to walk the hands away from your body. To make this a little bit more stretching, you're going to walk the fingertips closer towards your body. Let's start by just finding some side-to-side movements here, left to right. Should feel pretty nice to massage that area of the glute while also stretching through our hip flexor. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you might decide to grab onto the right foot, kind of like you're holding a baby here. I like to rock my baby from side to side. And I also prefer to lengthen my left leg here. So this is not a posture that's going to feel great for everybody. And if it's not feeling great for you, come back to what did feel good. Bring those palms to the ground. Rock from left to right. Enjoy this posture. There's no need to get to a pose that doesn't work for you. Try to keep that nice long spine. So try not to round and kind of collapse here. Keep that chest nice and lifted. Stay proud. Beautiful. We're going to find a seated twist here. So lengthen that left leg down the mat if it's not already there. Bring that right foot and cross it over the side of the left thigh. Bringing your right fingertips towards your right hip to be a kickstand, pressing your way up, lengthening through your spine, and then finding that twist by gazing over right shoulder. So your inhales, like we talked about, are that lengthening, and your exhales is that deepening into your posture. Inhale, lengthen, kind of come off of your edge, and exhale, return back to that delicious twist. One more breath here. Coming back to center, lengthen both legs down the mat, bubble them up and down a couple times. And then bring both soles of the feet to the ground. Take that left ankle, stack it over right thigh. And again, the same rules apply here. To make this a little less intense, you're just going to walk yourself back a little bit. To make this a little bit more intense, you're going to prop yourself up a little bit. Either way, you're keeping that nice long spine. Let's start by rocking from side to side. And if you'd like to make this a little bit deeper, maybe you find your little baby here, grabbing onto the left foot and knee, kind of hugging yourself. And again, I like to lengthen my right leg down the mat, but that might not really feel great for you. I like to rock my baby here as I keep my nice long spine. And then we'll take this into our twist. So if that right leg is not lengthened, go ahead and lengthen it down your mat. Bring the left ankle and cross it over towards the right side of your mat. Bring those left fingertips towards the back of your hip as a kickstand to lengthen your way up. And then twist as you gaze over left shoulder. Inhale is that lengthening, using the kickstand to press you high. Exhale, twist. 2 more. Coming back to center, lengthening both legs, giving them a quick little bubble up and down, and then slowly lowering all the way down onto your mat. Taking a nice full body stretch, reaching the arms and legs away from one another. And then pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze here. Maybe a gentle rock from left to right. And then finding a happy baby here if that feels okay. Letting the legs come into a 90-degree angle, grabbing onto the soles of the feet, and kind of coaxing those knees towards the armpits. You want to make sure that that lowermost back is on the earth. So you don't want to kind of curl into a ball here. You're not going to receive as many benefits as if you have a long spine. Might feel nice here, depending on your flexibility level, to open up into a straddle, maybe incorporating some rocking in this posture as well. And then take the next 3 breaths to find any movements that allow yourself to really settle and sink into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. And once you've made it, take a couple of deep breaths. Let each breath kind of enhance your experience. And then come back to this sensation of peace and heaviness. Just let your body be heavy. Know that the earth will support you. Connect back to your stillness. Connect to the certainty of the earth. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Taking another deep breath in and letting it go. Again, expand that breath as you inhale. And let it all go. Slowly start to return back to your physical body. Wiggling the toes and fingers. Ever so slowly, just picking your way back up into your seated position for the close of this practice. Bringing the hands over your heart. And I love that line. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. And we'll seal our practice in with the sound of Om, preparing with a cleansing breath in and out. Again, in. Thank you all for joining me at Mystic Fitness for another wonderful flow together. And the certainty within me bows to the certainty within you. May our love fill this world. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much once again for joining Mystic Fitness for another wonderful flow. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If you guys have any specific poses you want, let me know. This is your class as much as it is mine. And I'd love to hear some feedback from the community. So thank you guys again. This is Kelly signing off from Mystic Fitness, and I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the